Hello, I'm Rory Stoddart and I live with my family on this farm in Angus. We look after our animals so that we produce better meat for you. My dad and mum, Rob and Alison Stoddart, have two farms, one in Angus and one in Dumfries and Galloway, where they produce cattle to sell as food. Mum and Dad have two farms for two good reasons. The farm in Angus is in the east and it provides food and straw for the winter. The farm in Dumfries and Galloway is in the west and it provides good grass for the summer. I'm going to tell you how we all look after the cattle so you get better meat. Cows are pregnant or in calve for 9 months. When it is calving time, which is mostly between April and June, the cows are kept in a field close to the farm. My dad checks the cows at least 3 times a day, sometimes more if he thinks a cow is about to calve. Sometimes calves, just like babies, need help to be born. Once a calf is born, it gets onto its feet very quickly, usually within 5 to 10 minutes, and drinks its first milk within an hour. Again, Dad checks this has happened just to make sure the calf is healthy. Calves have to get a tag put in their ear within 24 hours of being born. They also get a passport. It looks like this. The number on the tag is the same as the number on the passport application that my mum sends or usually emails to the British Cattle Movement Service, or BCMS for short. The BCMS sends back the passport. It looks a bit like a checkbook. The passport must be signed by my dad, who is the farmer, and he has to put his quality assurance sticker in it. The passport shows the mother of the calf, along with the breed. We have different sorts of cattle on our farm. They are Charolais, Limousin, Belgian Blue and Aberdeen Angus. They are all breeds especially for beef. A cow's passport is pretty much like a human one. They can't leave home to go to another place without it. The passport goes with the animal wherever it goes. For example, to another farm, to an auction market, or to an abattoir. All the tag, passport and cattle movement details are recorded at BCMS, so everybody from the farmer to the customer who eventually buys the meat knows exactly where the animal has been. Our animals eat a lot. Animals that have been weaned, that means calves that don't need milk from their mothers anymore, are called store animals. They eat grass in fields in the summer. In autumn, when the grass stops growing so quickly, Dad starts to feed the animals with barley that he puts into the troughs in the fields. In the winter, they are fed on a mixture of barley, straw, potatoes, carrots and silage. Dad spends a lot of time mixing up their feed and making sure they get the right amount for them to grow properly. There are different mixes of food depending on how old the animals are. Cows that are feeding their calves eat their way through fields of grass in the summer. In winter, they are fed on silage, straw, and sometimes barley. Calves drink their mother's milk, but they quickly learn to graze on grass in summer and silage in winter. The cows you see here feeding their calves aren't dairy cows, but beef cows. Both sorts produce milk for their calves, but dairy cows also produce milk for us to drink. If the cattle are fed properly, look how much they can weigh. A calf, when it is born, weighs about 50 kilograms, which is the same as 50 bags of sugar. A store heifer, female, can reach 280 kilograms. Breeding bulls can weigh around 1 ton. Straw which has been combined from barley in the summer is used for bedding the animals in the winter. When the courts are cleaned out, the dung is put into a midden to be spread onto fields as organic fertiliser. This is a very smelly job. The animals are fed twice a day, 7 days a week. They are bedded every day, even at Christmas and New Year. Our animals need to be looked after carefully. Just like us, animals need to have a healthy, balanced diet. There can be problems if they don't eat enough calcium or magnesium. For example, during calving time, cows can get milk fever because they lack calcium. This means the cow can't stand up and will sometimes die if she's not treated. If a bottle of calcium is injected into her, she's usually okay within an hour. Nearly all the beef producers in Scotland, including my mum and dad, are members of the Quality Meat Scotland, QMS for short, farm assurance schemes. This scheme sets out strict rules and farmers have to follow, just like you and I have to follow rules at school. There are also inspectors who go round each farm to make sure that the farmers are following the rules. They look out for things like how many cattle there are, the food and water they drink, and the space they live in. Sometimes people from the Scottish Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, SSPCA, come to the farm with them to make sure the animals are looked after. When the cattle are between 20 to 24 months old, Mum and Dad sell the cattle at the auction market or direct to a meat processor. Because Dad is working with the cattle all the time, he knows them really well and can tell when they are ready for market. When they are sold, the cattle go to the abattoir, where they are stunned unconscious before being killed and then prepared for sale to butchers and supermarkets. A vet is always at the abattoir to make sure the cattle are calm and suffer no pain. The butcher or supermarket buys our beef from the abattoir, and then you buy it from them to make it into tasty meals. To be called Scotch beef, animals must be born and reared for all their lives in Scotland on an approved farm and slaughtered in Scotland in an approved meat plant.